Okay, good afternoon to the channel on a rainy, sunny afternoon. I want to do a quick video, a lot quicker than the first take of this video because it went like really long. What I want to do is this. As you know on this channel, I don't like to overhype certain things, and there's a lot of people on the internet right now talking about the stock market. Yes, I am going to talk about the stock market, but I'm not going to bait people in with like juicy titles like GameStop and AMC and Diamond Hands and all sort of. No. This is for my subscribers. I'm going to let you know exactly what I'm thinking financially and what's going on right now. There's a couple things that are happening right now that I think is going to benefit the stock market. And if you want to make some extra money, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not telling you what to do with your money. Do your own research and do with your money as you see fit. But I believe it's a great time, especially in the last 2 weeks where we had some downtime. I think we're about to shoot back up, and it's going to be an opportunity to make some money. So I'm going to share with you stocks I have current positions in, other ones that I've made money with in the last year, and where I think it's going for what reason. And I'm going to give you actual prices for either this week, the month, or the year, and I want to revisit this video to see the progress of what I actually said I believe is going to happen, see it actually happen. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the first like 3 I actually have positions in. I'm going to let you know if you can see it easy, like if it's an OTC stock, if you are on Robinhood. I trade with TD Ameritrade, so I can see all these and I trade all these. And then I'm going to let you know why I believe it's going to be changing the way it is. One of the things that's going to be affected is the stimulus bill was passed by the House on like Saturday morning or so. And I think people's mindset is going to be different because a lot of people are going to get about like $1,400 in the mail pretty soon. That's what I believe is going to happen. And things are going to try to turn around. And kids are actually starting to they're going to start sending kids back to school in a lot of areas 5 days a week. So we're starting to get in that place where we're trying to come out of the coronavirus pandemic stuff and get back to regular life. I'm still wearing masks, but that's another video another time. So I think there's going to be a rise. I think this is going to be a green week, and I think it's just going to start running Monday. That being said, I'm going to jump right in, and I'm going to give a couple quick things, but I don't want this video to go too long. I respect your time, and I appreciate you even clicking on this in the first place. That being said, all right, first stock that I'm actually very heavy in, the reason why it's going number 1, is High Tide, H-I-T-I-F. This stock is sitting at 62 cents. I've talked about it before. There's a lot of good reasons why I think this thing is A, undervalued, and B, it's going to absolutely blow up in March and for the rest of the year. This is a hold for me for the rest of the year into next year for reasons for growth of the company, but also for tax reasons, because if it goes really well, I don't want to pay a crazy amount of tax on my current income. I want it to be on what the capital gains is at a year from now, which will be significantly less, and I would appreciate that. High Tide sitting at 62 cents. I believe that it would be great percentage-wise for it to hit, like, think of a big picture. If you make 10% in a year on an investment, that's actually pretty good. So that would mean at 60 cents, it would have to be about 68, 69 cents for the rest of the year. I think it's going to do a lot better than that. I think the earnings statement that's coming out tomorrow afternoon is going to be positive and it's going to put this thing on the radar to look into acquire more businesses and stuff. I'm going to call this before the end of the month in March, 70 cents, because they're coming with an earnings report tomorrow. They're going to be buying, I think, like Smoke Cartel in like March 15th. They already have Meta Growth. They're going to be putting numbers together, and I believe they're also going to do Q1 of 2021 at the end of the month. I think they're trying to put things together to get momentum for people to buy their stock, and they do want to uplist into the NASDAQ. They already put in an application, I already communicated with them. I actually am starting to look at more of Raj Grover's Twitter. He's trying to communicate more with the investors. So I think this is some progress, but I want to see before the end of the month, 70 cents. Straightforward. Next stock, I actually have a position in this as well. Oh, and High Tide is an OTC, so if you're a Robinhooder, you can't see that. I'm on TD Ameritrade, I can. Next one is Galaxy. Now, I talked to you about what the schools are doing now. I know the kids are going back to school for 5 days a week. like in the middle of the month in this Philadelphia area that they're starting to try to push for that. Galaxy Next Generation is all about school technology and boards and apps and things like that. It took a big dip on these last 2 weeks. I bought into it a little bit over 2 cents. Saw it go up to like 7.5 cents or so. I sold half the position around 4 or 5 cents or something like that. And I got all my money back. My initial investment is plus some profits. So right now I'm playing with house money. I can hold this. I'm gonna hold this for the rest of the year. They say they want to uplist. They want to be above $1. I'm seeing for the rest of the year. For the rest of the year, I think like 20 cents is reasonable, very reasonable. That being said, if it's sitting at like 3.5 cents right now, that is still more than times 5 your money. Now, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, you'll see 20 cents by the summer." I hope so. I'm not gonna, go against it, but now for the month of March, I'm gonna go ahead. I initially thought I was gonna say something really conservative, like 4 cents, but I don't see any reasons why we shouldn't be 4.5 cents. That's very significant. Going from 3.5 cents to 4.5 cents, that's a huge, huge percentage. I think that's 30%, 27%, something like that. It's going to be a huge percent for March. So we'll call that there. Now, this is my shot in the dark. I do have a small position in GameStop, GME. This is not an OTC stock. I invested in this for a couple different reasons. We got to see a preview of this not too long ago and see where it went. Now people believe that they have a date. People also believe that GameStop can actually reinvent itself and become a market leader. The CEO is talking pretty big, talking about rivaling Amazon, and we know what Amazon is going for right now, like thousands of dollars per share. So I think that's cool. Now it's trading pretty much at $100. That's where I got it, at $100. I'm going to say before the end of the week, $125. Do I believe it's going to go crazy? Yeah, I think it can. They use the data as March 19th, but I want to look at the percentages of what's realistic and what's absolutely awesome. And then step back, take the emotions out. And 25% is great. Now, I'm also using GameStop as an opportunity to learn. I have a very small position in them, so it's not like I'm going to be on the street if this thing goes back to like $40, $50. I'm like, kind of sucked, but I took a shot. Now, if it goes like 500 or 600 or so, and I multiply by like 5, that'd be great. I'm okay with that. But I do watch a lot of YouTube. I filter out a lot of garbage. A lot of people that are just kind of hyping people up and saying who actually brings value and brings real information so I can actually mentally grow. I kind of look at it as like a poker table. I like to understand the people that are at the table, including like the hedge funds. I don't want to sit there with just a bunch of emotions going, it's not fair, they should be doing this and everything, they should be betting against American companies. Look, it happens. Accept it. Understand what they're doing and how the game is actually played, how things can be hidden, whatever, and then dig deep for good information so you can play the game better and win. That's what level-headed, responsible people do. Irresponsible people are very emotional. Let them be. I don't want to be like that when it comes to finance. I want to be steady and I want to steadily win. So yes, I'm going to call it $125 before the end of the week. I think that could happen pre-market, starting Monday morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever. But that's why it's called for there. AMC, another play that people believe. I mean, New York is opening up all their theaters on the 5th. AMC has this squeeze idea. I mean, it started going up at after market, went to like $8.20 or something. We're still going to call this $8 where it's ended at on Friday. And I think it's a realistic thing to go to $10. That would be my exit. $10. Now, I'm going to call that before the end of the week. $10. From $8 to $10. That's $2 difference. So for where it's right now, that's 25%. Once again, that's a huge, for an investment, that's a huge gain. I just think it's going to go there, especially with the anticipation on Friday, everything opening up. Even like that's why with something like that, without being one of the diamond hands people or something like that, regardless of where it goes afterwards, I think the attempt to try to open is going to cause for this stock to skyrocket. And I think people are just diving in, and I think the people that don't have the money to go into GameStop are going to go into AMC because it's sitting at $8. An average person that can. It's not OTC, it's a regular. They can jump into this they can take $80 and buy 10 shares, and if it goes to $10, sure, they can go buy a ticket, whatever. So the first three I actually have positions in. AMC is kind of linked with GameStop, so I want to just talk about that. But going forward, I'm just going to talk about 4 other stocks really quick that I actually believe in and I would hold on a longer term, except for Zomedica, which is just this month. But I'm going to still give my numbers for what I believe it can happen for this month and for the year. Next one is American Battery, which is ABML. I've talked about this before. I think they took a big dip back because they still don't even have their plant running for recycling lithium-ion batteries. But I think they're going to make a comeback because, yeah, they have government grants, they're up the street from Tesla, and potentially getting government contracts, especially with the military. I think it would not be unreasonable, because it's sitting at $2.56 right now. I do not think it's unreasonable before the end of March for this to hit $3. I'm going to leave it at that. There's a lot more I can talk about, but I want to keep this video nice and short. The next stock is Zomedica, which I've won big. I've more than doubled my money before I got out of it. Like I said in my last video, to transition all that money into high tide, because I am heavy on high tide. I believe in that so much. I want to go to the moon. Whatever. That's everybody says that stuff. I think it has a huge upside. I still want big time with Zomedica. This is the month for Zomedica. Zomedica is coming out with the product in March 30th. It's going to start building steam. You can even see it in the aftermarkets. It closed at $1.87, and then the aftermarkets took it another 6.42% up to $1.99. Now, if I went a little more aggressive, I saw where it went before. It went to like $2.90. Before the end of March, at some point, I think it will go to $2.50. It will hit $2.50, and I don't care what happens afterwards. But if you think about it, let's call it $2 right now and 50 cents. That's 25%. I'm talking these percentages to help you step back and go, wait a minute, 25% is a huge percentage to make in a month. It's not realistic. We see all these SPAC plays and these penny stocks like shoot like crazy. It's not realistic if you step back. It happens. It's definitely happening now. But 25% is huge. And I'm going to call Zomedica to hit 250, and that's when I would exit before the end of the month. I'm probably going to take a little position, especially depending on what happens with GameStop. Take a little position, day trade this stuff, but I have a lot of confidence in this for March. Outside of that, I don't know. Next one that I have a lot of confidence in, even for the last year, is Marathon Oil, MRO. As we try to open up the economy again and people get back on the road, gas prices we are seeing starting to rise. I told a buddy of mine earlier this month that he should just wants to be very conservative. I was like, I totally understand. What I would do if I were you, and this was at the very beginning of the month, I said I would take money and I'll put it in Marathon Oil and just let it sit there and see what happens. Well, that was at $7.26, and what was it? It was on like February 24th. It went up to like $12.30. So he would have made out a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I'm even making this video, is because if I can give just information to somebody so they can do their own due diligence, they can go, oh, wait a minute. The guy put it on my radar, I did my research, and I made money, thank you. Sitting at $11.10, I think for the month of March, it will pass $12. I think that's kind of conservative. I'm looking at, historically, it's kind of peaked out $13, $14, so I think it's going to go past that. I think everybody's going to be like, I want to get out of my house, and it's going to cause for things to swing a little higher. It'll come back down, but at $12, still a significant gain, a little bit under 10%. But I think if you want to be a little safer, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Oil companies are not going anywhere anytime soon. I know electric vehicles are going to take over. That's not going to happen for another 5, 6, 7 years. So Marathon Oil, along with the next and last stock, which is Apache Corporation, which is sitting at $19.73, listing APA, is sitting at $19.73. I believe before the end of March, we'll go to $22. Zomedica, MRO, and APA are regular traded stocks. They're not OTC, so anybody can see them. You can jump in these as you see fit. Like I said, I'm heavy into high tide. I'm holding that for the rest of the year, but I think that can go up significantly in March because of all the catalysts that they have. Galaxy as a whole for the rest of the year, but because of the stimulus bill and what it's going to do for schools, I think it's going to go up. Learning a lot from GME. I don't know if I explained it before, but this is even this guy, when I'm learning, this guy Bruce actually broke down the actual rules of what's really going on. So I'll do like a link right over here so you can go check that out and just learn from that. And then you have just some companies I think are going to be doing good in the short and the long term: American Battery, Zemenica, Marathon Oil, and Apache. Those are my thoughts. The market's opening up. Like, I'm going to be actually awake at 4 o'clock in the morning to see this thing start shooting. I think we're going to have a green week. I think there's going to be a huge push to open up this economy again. And I think in March it's going to be a very good time. And then we'll see what happens after that. But like I said before, I want to revisit this at the end of the month and also at the end of the year to see where these predictions actually went. And I give quick shout outs to a couple people that even watched my first financial video, because it's really just the people that subscribe to my channel, and I like it that way. I like a smaller group of people because I don't want a bunch of hype. So Wolfpack, an Eagles fan of this channel, coming in and doing some financial. I appreciate you coming by. Frank, yes, when the economy and everything starts opening back up, we got to go get some pizza or some place down in Philly. That'd be awesome. My buddy Zeph, you, ciao. And Steve, we do a lot of financial stuff, but just giving you my picks. And he's a Cleveland fan, so he needs all the wins he can get, even though the team was a lot better than us. And the Cavs just beat the Sixers. We won't talk about that. And buddy Jacob as well. Thank you guys for coming to the channel. I appreciate that, and everybody else that stops by. Put your comments out. What kind of stuff do you like? What prices do you think these stocks can go at? And let's have a conversation, and let's have a good time. But thanks for stopping by the channel, and I will stop this video now. Have a great day. Have a great March.